I'm Corbett Wall with DV Auction, here with a 3-minute cattle market update for Wednesday, July the 13th. And it just seems like the cattle market does not like July at all. Last week really didn't count that much because we had such a shortened week due to the July 4th holiday. But boy, as we get into the first full week of trading here, markets are down really hard. Your live cattle on Monday, August contract opened up the week down 287. Tuesday was down 45 cents. To end the day on Tuesday at 108.90. Feeder cattle on August contract Monday was down $4. Tuesday down 85 cents to end the day on Tuesday at 138.60. Our fat cattle trade just seems like it's going to be dismal this week. Not really much trade out of the four main areas, but as usual, Iowa and southern Minnesota area is starting it off because they've got to get something done. They don't have any kind of deals made up there, so they're selling a few cattle live this week from 116 to 117. Had one deal Monday at 118, which would be quite a bit lower. They are selling some cattle for August delivery from 186 to 188. A few as high as 192, but that's on the outside. Had a few current delivery sales there at 188 also early in the week, but it looks like your fat cattle market's going to be quite a bit lower whenever they start trading the main deals out there in Kansas and Nebraska and places like that. But really on the feeder cattle, your Oklahoma City market 7,600 head was steady. Cattle weighing over 950, where there is quite a few of them, $2 to $4 higher. Joplin at 5,500. Feeders were steady to 3 higher, and calves 2 to 5 higher. But that's really not what the market bears really this week. You know, you hate to say it's not, but they didn't have a sale the previous week, so it's hard to call on. And the reason that those early Monday markets were higher is because we had some people that wanted to get some cattle, get their hands on some cattle right away. They had some pens they needed to get filled. They didn't have any trade over the 4th of July holiday, so they needed some cattle right then. But the bulk of the sales we've had this week has been on the big videos. Both Western Video and Superior had huge videos starting out this week, and just really we lost a ton of ground on our feeder cattle looking into the fall right here, and it's going to cost the industry a lot of money because a lot of those cattle are going to be setting the market for the whole fall coming up. So it really couldn't have come at a worse time to have the board fall early in the week as right here during these big videos starting out. But a lot of these guys selling calves for fall, maybe getting, you know, $15, $20 less than what they thought they were going to get just maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. Really tough times. A lot of those cattle will be PO'd and not pissed off but passed out, but maybe for that reason. But and they'll offer those cattle up at the next sale, but it doesn't look like it's going to get any better. Look at Cattle Market Central there, Northwest Stockyards in Eden, Oklahoma. Here on Tuesday had a load of steers weighed 805 at 141. That's really what the market bears out there right now. And here just a couple of weeks ago we thought we were going to get 140 for some 9-weight steers, and they're just not going to bring it. Not after the board dumped early this week, and it's really tough. There's a lot of cattle out there in the Flint Hills. I talk about the Flint Hills a lot, but the Flint Hills is a major grazing area for the summer. And there's a lot of cattle out there, and they're the best feeding cattle of the year anywhere. Those cattle will absolutely do it all. They'll easily gain 5 pounds a day in a typical year there. And the guys that feed them, especially in the Kansas and the lower Nebraska areas there, they love those cattle and they want those cattle really bad. It's just that they're so far apart from what the guys that turn those cattle out and grazed them are wanting. And what they can afford to give, you can't hedge anything right now. It would be nice if we could count, if they could hedge those cattle counting on a $10 basis, what we've had for a long time, but we're probably not going to carry a big basis like that going into the fall. We usually don't. I know when I used to grade a lot of delivery cattle for the USDA, August, October, and December were our biggest delivery months, which meant that the board was higher than what cash is on the fat cattle. So if we tighten that back up, guess what? We're going to lose another $10 on the cash fat cattle market on top of what the board is going to lose, because it seems like we're in a downtrend right there. But These guys in the Flint Hills has got cattle to sell. These double stock cattle got to come off right now. These cowboys are already scheduled to gather these cattle up. I talked to some buyers out there, friends of mine that normally buy a lot of cattle in that country. They say the cowboys are going to gather these cattle and we're going to load them on this day, and a lot of it's going to happen later this week and this weekend to get them off mid-July, because the double stocks do have to come off then if they're great, or if they're rented pasture, which mostly it all is. But those cattle are going to be gathered and they're going to get on trucks. We'll probably have more retained ownership than we've had in a long time, especially coming out of that region. But some of these guys might be wanting to make deals, but you guys that are thinking about retaining partial ownership, if you've got a feedlot that can't buy your cattle but they want to partner with you, you got to wonder why they won't just buy them all. It's not because they can't get the money. Once they've got the cattle, they've got the cattle and all the cards in their hands. So you got to think whether you want to do a partnership retained deal. But you know, it's hard to find a good custom cattle feeder out there anyway these days. But here in Denver, Colorado, at the Cattle Feeders Hall of Fame, I'd like to congratulate the newest two Hall of Fame members, Paul Brown, Cattle Empire in Satana, Kansas, and the late Bob Gotch out in Nebraska. That's 3 minutes. We'll talk to you later in the week.